It looks like there's been some new evidence that Aaliyah's uncle, Barry Hankerson, was heavily involved in her alleged murder, and fans are saying that authorities need to investigate Aaliyah's whole family.
Barry, when Aaliyah died for a wrongful death, he got paid $90 million for her death. Am I supposed to say that on TV?
Not only did Barry Hankerson introduce Aaliyah to R. Kelly when she was just 12, but according to new reports, he may have also been involved in the plot to take out Aaliyah and profit from her death. But why did no one question Barry about his connection to R. Kelly? Did Barry really put a hit out on his own niece?
Do you like teenage girls?
When you say teenage, how old are we talking?
Girls who are teenagers.
It's been 22 years since Aaliyah lost her life under suspicious circumstances, and there are still so many unanswered questions about her death. Recently, some new evidence popped up about the alleged involvement of Aaliyah's family in her death, and fans are pointing the finger at one family member in particular, her uncle, Barry Hankerson. In case you didn't know, Barry Hankerson is a record producer, manager, and founder of Blackground Records. He founded Blackground in 1993 specifically with the goal to sign Aaliyah after multiple record labels refused to sign her due to her young age. However, Barry, who was working with R. Kelly's manager at the time, decided to use his connection to Kelly to get a record deal for Aaliyah. Aaliyah was just 12 years old when Barry set up a meeting with Kelly and had Aaliyah sing for him.
My manager, who's her uncle, told me to go up to Detroit and hear her sing. Once I got up to Detroit, I didn't have to hear her sing because she was glowing. I knew she had it. As soon as she started singing, that verified it. And from there, we became here. And everything is all good.
R. Kelly took the role of Aaliyah's mentor, and he helped her write and produce her first album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, which was recorded when Aaliyah was just 14. Meanwhile, Barry continued working as Aaliyah's manager until 1995, when her dad, Michael Halton, took over. But despite having her uncle and her dad heavily involved in her career, Aaliyah had no real support system that could protect her. What R. Kelly was doing to Aaliyah was the textbook definition of grooming, but back then, everyone turned a blind eye to this. In 1994, R. Kelly and Aaliyah appeared together on BET. And when Aaliyah was asked to explain their relationship, she said that they were best friends. However, she didn't deny the dating rumors.
Everybody seems to think that y'all are either girlfriend or boyfriend or cousins or friends. Let's just get the record straight.
Better go get me a white Jeep.
Well, no, we're not related at all. No, we're not. We're just very close. This is my best friend.
Yeah, cool.
Now, who found her?
In the whole wide.
Mind you, Aaliyah was just 15 years old at the time. Kelly then talked about how Barry invited him to Detroit to meet 12-year-old Aaliyah, and he said he didn't even have to hear Aaliyah sing because she was glowing.
Once I got up to Detroit, I didn't have to hear her sing because she was glowing. I knew she had it. As soon as she started singing, that verified it. And from there, we became here. And everything is all good.
But it gets worse. Check out R. Kelly's creepy expression when he says he can't remember ever actually working with Aaliyah.
Rob is great to work with because really it's not like we work because we're like really close. So it's like just fun, really. We just hang out, sing.
I don't ever remember working.
Yeah, it's just like fun.
Also, when the host asked Aaliyah how she came up with the title for her album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, she nervously laughed before R. Kelly jumped in to say that the title was Aaliyah's idea.
Where'd the title of the album come from?
She's running around the studio one day with her friends, talking a lot of smack. Talking about age ain't nothing but a number, girl. I was like, what you trying to say?
However, when Aaliyah was asked to say her age, she said it was a secret.
And for the record, you are how old?
That's a secret.
Women doesn't disclose her age.
Keeping it under wraps.
That's right.
But it wasn't actually a secret because we all know Aaliyah was born in 1979 and this interview took place in 1994, which means that she was 15. And we also know the reason Aaliyah was scared to say her age was because the same year she and R. Kelly did this interview, Kelly illegally married her by using a fake birth certificate. During R. Kelly's criminal trial in 2021, Kelly's former backup dancer Angela testified that Kelly started abusing Aaliyah when she was 13 or 14, at least 1 year before they were married. Angela told the jurors that Kelly controlled Aaliyah and his young backup dancers and never allowed them to leave the hotel without him while they were touring. She recalled how one time during a stop in Washington, D.C., she, Aaliyah, and a group of other girls made a trip to 7-Eleven, and when they returned, Kelly demanded that they sleep with him as punishment for disobeying his instructions. Robert told all of us we would have to put out, Angela said, also adding that Kelly would often tell Aaliyah and other girls that sleeping in with him was a form of paying their dues. news. Vibe magazine later obtained the fake ID that Kelly used to illegally marry Aaliyah, and other witnesses said that Kelly did this because he believed Aaliyah was pregnant and feared that he would be prosecuted. Aaliyah's former boyfriend Dame Dash also later said that if people would have protected Aaliyah, so many other girls wouldn't have gotten touched. So why didn't people protect Aaliyah? Where was Barry Hankerson and Aaliyah's parents? Aaliyah was signed to Barry's label until her tragic death in 2001. However, Barry repeatedly denied that he knew about R. Kelly and Aaliyah's relationship, and he pointed the finger at his sister and Aaliyah's mother, Diane, claiming that she knew all about it.
Were you aware of the issues going on with R. Kelly when they were going on?
No. No, didn't have a clue. Completely ignorant to it.
Do you think anyone in the family was?
Yes. Yes, I think my sister knew a lot more than what we thought she knew.
But Barry wasn't lying here, because according to the surviving R. Kelly documentary, Aaliyah's parents knew that Kelly had married their underage daughter. However, they agreed to stay silent after Kelly offered to sell them the rights to his first 3 albums. Both of Aaliyah's parents agreed that they wouldn't press charges against Kelly after the marriage was annulled and they signed an NDA. Journalist Jim DeRogatis, who uncovered the actual NDA that R. Kelly gave Aaliyah's parents, later said that the document was harrowing because it detailed the extent of the abuse Aaliyah has suffered at Kelly's hands. The NDA stated that Aaliyah's parents vowed not to pursue further legal claims for physical abuse. So it wasn't just an underage relationship, DeRogatis said. He hit her allegedly, according to that court document. So if Aaliyah's parents knew all about this, there's simply no way Barry Hankerson didn't know too, considering he was both R. Kelly's manager and the owner of Aaliyah's label. But just when we thought that this story couldn't get any more shocking, new evidence emerged that Barry may have been involved in Aaliyah's death. On August 22nd, 2001, Aaliyah flew to Miami to film dance scenes for her Rock the Boat music video, which was directed by Hype Williams. However, Hype suddenly decided to move the shoot to the Bahamas, and the following day, Aaliyah and several employees of Virgin Records flew to the islands. Damon Dash later said that he told Aaliyah not to go because it didn't make sense why Hype insisted on Aaliyah flying there. Not only was Aaliyah terrified of planes, but Hype had everything he needed to shoot the video in Miami, and Dame believed that it was completely unnecessary to force Aaliyah to fly.
So when we got there, you know, Hype was making this video, and I was like, I know Hype. I just got off of Big Pimpin', where I had to cut the video, you know what I mean? Because he likes to spend bread. So I was like, you know, he's gonna make you do another day. Don't do it. Trust me, it's just so he can spend money, you know? And sure enough, she came home that day, and I had a big house. I rented this house, and she's like, I'm going to, you know, there. And I was like, I just thought that it wasn't necessary. You know, I knew that that was gonna happen. And then when she actually saw the plane, she, you know, we had the Blackberries, and she said, I don't like this plane. And I was like, well, don't get on it. And she was like, well, I got to because I got work to do. She got on the plane, and she always had a very serious fear of planes in general. So she had to overcome a fear to get on that plane on the way there.
On August 25th, Aaliyah wrapped up the shoot in the Bahamas. However, when it was time to leave, she had a bad feeling after seeing the plane. According to journalist Kathy Ladoli's biography of Aaliyah, Aaliyah refused to board the plane and told her team she had a headache. She then went back into her taxi cab and didn't want to get out, repeatedly saying that she didn't want to fly. However, someone from the team brought Aaliyah a pill which turned out to be a tranquilizer, and after Aaliyah passed out, they carried her onto the plane. One eyewitness, whose family ran the taxi cab company, later revealed that Aaliyah's team literally took her out of the van, and she didn't even know she was getting boarded on a plane. Just moments after takeoff, the plane carrying Aaliyah and 8 other people crashed, killing everyone on board.
But her life, her dreams were taken away. On board the doomed Cessna, Aaliyah and 8 others, including a representative for Virgin Records and a makeup artist. Investigators say one of the engines apparently failed. They crashed just short of a runway on Abaco Island.
But get this, after Aaliyah died, Barry Hankerson filed a wrongful death suit, and according to former Blackground Records associate Ayatollah Marv, Barry received a $90 million settlement.
When Aaliyah dies, I was with Barry when Aaliyah died for a wrongful death. He got paid $90 million for her death. Am I supposed to say that on TV? Sue me, I ain't got nothing. So I was with him on the negotiations, you know what I'm saying? Blackground Records, he's married to Gladys Knight. Wow. So he had Timberland, Genuine, Missy Elliott, and Aaliyah is his niece. You know?
Oh, wow.
Aaliyah is his niece. So he got a settlement for $90 million for her death.
Was that just for his rights or whatever he owned?
What she would have been able to make if she hadn't have died.
And that's not all. For 20 years after Aaliyah's death, Barry refused to release Aaliyah's music on streaming services, which led fans to start a Twitter campaign with the hashtag Free Aaliyah's Music. Finally, in 2021, Black Round Records signed a distribution deal with Empire to release Aaliyah's last 2 albums and several singles. However, Aaliyah's estate, which is run by her mom Diane and her brother Rashid, objected to the release and issued a statement claiming that Barry signed the deal without any transparency or full accounting to the estate. But honestly, it seems like there are no innocent parties here, and it sounds like the whole family betrayed Aaliyah for profit. Fans are now saying we need a full investigation and a proper documentary of Aaliyah's death, because if Barry and the rest of the family turned a blind eye to what R. Kelly did to Aaliyah, is it really that much of a stretch to believe that they were also involved in her death? They need to investigate Barry Hankerson for Aaliyah's death, one fan said. And another fan added, someone should dig into Barry and see what skeletons fall out of his closet. Birds of a feather flock together. But we want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think Barry is really involved in Aaliyah's death? And what about the rest of her family? Comment down below and don't miss out on this next video.